So if you've ever set up a meta ads campaign and then turned it on and gotten clicks and not seen things translate through to actual streams on Spotify, first of all, you are in good company. I mean, I've been there, so maybe that's not good company, but plenty of other people have been there too, so I'm sure there's some good company in that group somewhere. Second of all, there are some pretty straightforward ways that you can fix an ad campaign that is broken. So in this video, I'm gonna look at one of my favorite quick fixes for an ad campaign. If it's wrong, your ads definitely won't work, and if you just make this one switch and get things right, it can really turn an ad campaign around. So with that said, let's flip around to the computer screen and I'll show you one of the first things I look at if an ad campaign is not working. All right, welcome to the old computer screen. I'm going to show you how I figure out if a campaign is working or not working with this technique. So put simply, we're going to look at the countries where we're getting clicks in Facebook Ads Manager, and then we're going to see if those same countries are driving streams in Spotify for Artists. So this is a real campaign that I was running for a client. You can see the date range that was set here, and I realized basically that this campaign wasn't driving the amount of saves and the amount of streams that I wanted, and so I was digging in, and this was one of the first things I looked at to see what was going wrong. So if we look at the charts, and this is that same date range, just a little bit over like a 10-day period-ish. So you can see we're sitting at about 56 cents per click to Spotify, with 330 of those clicks over this period, and by far this age group was the most common one clicking the ads, but these clicks didn't seem to be translating to streams and saves on Spotify. And so here's what I did to see what was happening. So I went to breakdown and country, and you can see here Brazil is getting a ton of the results here, and so is Mexico. And so here is the simple trick. Basically every single click here, you would want to have streamed the song here. So if we see a number that is lower than certain results in a country here, that is a red flag that that audience in that country is not actually translating to streams. So everyone who clicks should at least stream it once. Most likely, if it's working, if they're a good audience for the song, they should stream it more than once. So you should see more streams than you should see clicks here. And so if we look at Mexico, 122 clicks, and we are seeing a pretty good rate of streams. Other sources of streams here too. There's a playlisting campaign, I believe, happening at the same time. So it's hard to parse out totally, but this is not a red flag at least. But then if we look at Brazil, which was the winning country, which is the country that was getting the most traction, 194 clicks, but only 136 streams. So that's a pretty clear sign that many of those clicks are not streaming the music once they click it. And so we're getting charged for those clicks, and Facebook is showing our ads to more people like that, but then they're not actually going and streaming the music. And so that is a bad sign. So the next step, the easy fix, is to take this country out of your ad set, to remove it from your targeting, and then see what happens when the audience is adjusted. So here's my own ad campaign for my own song, and just to show you an example of hopefully the clicks translating through, we'll check it in real time. I actually haven't checked this yet. So breaking it down here, clicking country, and let's see. So Canada has 12, pretty even distribution so far, so it doesn't look like it's super dialed in yet, because typically you'll see some countries getting more of the spend than others, but it looks like US has 13, Canada has 12 over this 30-day period since the ads have gone live. So I should see at least 12 streams from Canada and 13 streams from the US. I'm almost positive I'm going to see that. So that's a bunch of streams in the US. It's a bunch of streams from Canada. So there are no red flags on this meta ads campaign. It looks like the countries are translating through in terms of streams. Although, again, it gets hard when you have playlisting and other sources of streams. But at least we're avoiding a red flag here. So last but not least, here's another campaign that I'm running for a client, and you can see here the country breakdown. And really in the last week or so, the US has started to dominate the clicks that this client is getting. So this is over the last 14 days. And when we go to Spotify for Artists, we can see that over the last week or so, this blue line is the US. We can see that it has picked up, and we're getting a bunch of streams over that same time period where we were starting to see the US start to dominate in the ads. If we go here and look at the top countries for the song, 1,136 streams over the last 28 days. So basically we're seeing no red flags, and if we look at this trend line, it's looking pretty close to what we would expect to see if those clicks on the ads were actually translating into streams and listeners. So hopefully that was helpful if you have an ad campaign that's not working. If you want to learn more tips like this, I have a course on how to run meta ads. I also have a membership community where we help artists set up their meta ads. And then finally, we also run meta ads for clients ourselves at Two Story Media. So if you're interested in any of that stuff, check out the website. It'll be linked in the description below. But most of all, I just hope this was helpful as you market your music. It can be super frustrating if you're doing something and it's not working. So yeah, hopefully this is just one more thing that just helps things to work for you. Wishing you good luck, and as always, you got this.